Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Boy, the timer was off on my countdown here. It said that we still had like 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. And so I have my little fidget spinner here. Do you hear that in the background this morning?
I can see it spinning much faster than it looks like it's spinning on the...
Look at that thing. It looks like it's going 1,000,000 miles an hour. Man, who would have thought? Do you ever say who would have thought or who would have thunk? What's the correct word, Kaye? Because I've heard it.
Depends on where you're from.
I've heard it both ways, where people have said, "Who would have thunk?" That thing's still going, by the way. These aren't even in style anymore. For those on Spirit Radio, you're wondering what is going on this morning. Maybe you're the international audience and you have no idea how you even hopped on the app this morning. But we have a video show on alongside the audio on Spirit Radio, and this is Good Morning Huntsville. We want to welcome you in, and we'll just go ahead and take care of our housekeeping right now. We are here on what is today?
Wednesday.
Wonderful Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And Jennifer Augustinetti, she already said it. I was looking Jennifer right away, and she said, good morning. It's a wonderful Wednesday. We are here. We are in our studio downtown. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. Set up your appointments online for all of your jewelry needs. He's the best. And, in fact, I believe he's in Antwerp. We'll be back pretty soon. He is getting the – you got some Elliot's jewelry on.
Probably about at least 50% of those rings are from Elliot.
Yeah, beautiful. And those are all from Elliot. And you can go online, set up the appointment, elliotsjewelers.com. And also a big thank you to Paul Oley of the Gallery. That is how we're able to be here this morning. And for the support, as always, on a Wednesday. For Tomorrow's Promise, Montessori Schools, Kaye and Rick Boehning. So grateful to be here. Kaye, good to see you. It's so wonderful to see you. Rick, good to see you, my man.
Rob, you're one of my favorite people on this show.
Hey, you're one of my favorite men in this studio right now. At the moment, yeah. You want me to? Hey, have we ever did the handshake on the show yet?
What's that? Oh, no, we haven't.
All right, ready? Here we go. Check this out. You do this. You split like nope. Hold on. You bring it in. You snap. Isn't that cool?
No.
The snap, and then you snap, and then you come back like that, and then you go 1, 2, bam.
1, 2, Bam.
Yeah, there you go. All right, real time. Here we go. Watch this. What's up? It just, that snap is so, you ever felt the snap before?
I've never done that before.
Kay, I won't take you through the whole thing, but watch the snap and tell me what you think. Ready? The snap. Isn't that cool? The snap. And it's cool. You snap on somebody else. So instead of getting angry and snap at them, you snap with a handshake. That gets rid of the angry snap.
Does it?
It does.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we get started, some of you saw this little thing spinning around here, and I'm not going to let it run the whole time because it's loud and annoying. I didn't realize how loud it was. These things, I think, ran out of style. This is a fidget spinner. And, I mean, these things were pretty big for a while, right, Kay?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you from a Montessori standpoint, is there, and I'm not, whatever your opinion is going to fly, it doesn't matter. Is there any type of value to these things? What do you think that it actually stimulates anything? What do you think, Kay? I've always wanted to ask your opinion on the fidget spinner.
I am sure for very few particular children, it might be helpful. But in my opinion, for the normal person like you,
Probably
it's
not.
just a distraction.
Rick, try that and tell me if it's going to distract you the entire show.
Oh, I'm
But
distracted now.
there are some children that it's beneficial for.
Yeah, because it may like take their focus. Like if you're ADD and yeah, Rick, you can't do that. You know, so you can't blow it. You got to spin it there, old Rick. Yeah. So, Paul gave me that yesterday, and I was like, I never had one of those really. And then he brought it in, and for like 15 minutes, I was sitting there playing with it. I was like, I got to get work done. And see, Rick, right? It takes your distraction. It takes you away from what you're supposed to be doing, which is being the lead host on this show because I got to go.
Okay.
Fred's just kidding.
Let's go through the physics on this.
Hey, yeah, let's go through the whole thing. Want to welcome everybody. Let us know that you're out there, Huntsville. This show, friends, I want to remind you, this show is for you. Somebody the other day said, they came up to me and they said, we just love your show, Rob, your show. And I don't think of things that are mine. We were thankful. God gives us all unique talents and abilities and creativity to be a blessing to others. And for me, I said, you know what? This is Huntsville's show. Yeah. And it's y'all's show. You're here with me every Wednesday. It's y'all's show. It's our show together. And so friends that watch every morning, I want to welcome you in. I want you to know that you're part of this show. You are this show. You're the reason that we bring it. If we got on here every single day and had one person, would we continue to do the show? Probably not. But our audience is growing, and one thing that I would ask for your help for this morning, maybe you've never done this, ever done this morning. Friends, right now, if you can, and you're on Facebook, we have a lot of folks that are joining us too on YouTube this morning. It's a little bit more difficult on YouTube because there's no share button to share it on a YouTube feed. But if you're on Facebook this morning and you're watching the show, do us a favor. I don't think I've ever asked for this, but if you can this morning, hit the like button and hit share, and just share the show to your timeline. If you're part of a group that allows different things, share it to a group as well, and allow us to bring in more of an audience because we love celebrating so much good that is happening here in the community. We're waking up this morning, another beautiful day, and it's kind of cool whenever you have, well, it's not cool, but it's whenever you don't have, you go 3 months without having rain. It's like every drop of rain that we get now, everyone's happy about it. And this morning I woke up to let the dogs out. I was like, why don't the dogs want out? They can sense it. They knew. They were not eager to run to the door. And I said, I bet you anything it's raining. I opened the back door. Guess what? It was raining.
I was thankful to see the rain this morning because I can, over at Veterans, we can see if there's any leaks.
So you know.
You
know that whenever your roof is dripping. And I'm looking up here. I'm surprised. It's an old building, beautiful historic building here. And knock on wood, I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, but I've never seen anything dripping in here except Rick's clothes. He's got that drip going.
Yeah, I am a drip.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's it is pretty neat. I just love waking up, and I mentioned earlier, it's every morning it gets darker and darker and darker, just outside, and so. But I'm not a big fan of the time changing. I wish they'd just leave the time where it is.
I wish they would too.
Isn't there something in the works?
It has passed the Senate. It's the House that has not passed for it to stay the same.
So they got to make sure that and then it goes to the president's desk, right? The judicial system.
So half of it is done. The other half, I don't know if they're going to break it up or not, but I wish they would.
Yeah, I just think it's time. I mean, we can move forward on so many other things. Let's move forward and get this daylight savings time thing
Yeah,
over
well,
with.
if it's got to go before the president, I hope they have the right crayons.
We'll see, Rick. We'll see. Speaking of crowns, Braylon has some crowns that are pretty neat. I didn't know that they made crowns that you can wipe off. And so they have washable crowns now.
Are you saying crayons or crowns?
How are you supposed to say it?
Crayons.
Crayons?
Crayons.
That sounds like something from like Star Wars. A crayon. The crayons are coming.
Yeah, they are.
I say crown. I guess it's like crowns.
Is that a Texas thing?
I guess it's not an Oklahoma thing, is it, Kay?
It's crayon.
She's like, speak it correctly.
That's just like a pecan pie. It is not a pecan pie.
Yeah, I do. I don't say that. You know, I've heard of people say that, and it's weird. It's like I've heard of people say My friends in Fargo make fun of me because I say aunt. Well, there it's aunt.
I've heard people say aunt here too, and I grew up saying aunt.
Yeah, and they were like, and they told me, they said that's an insect. I said,
Yeah.
well, you know, maybe I do have an insect as an aunt. You know, I don't know.
I don't know what my antecedents did.
Actually, I
Yeah.
don't. I have wonderful ants. Now I'm going to say it. I have, you know, I'm just trying to think. This morning, I have my Aunt Martha, who's awesome. Love Aunt Martha. I have my
Hey, Aunt Martha.
Hi, Aunt Martha. She may be watching. I have Aunt Susie, who is an amazing artist. She paints on porcelain, and I'm going to brag about her. Porcelain painting is not this, you know, widely sought after thing. You know, a lot of people paint on canvas or they paint on whatever.
That's difficult to do.
But she paints on porcelain. She's been doing it for years, and it was really cool because Cecilia Abbott, Governor Abbott's wife, she came to Pearsall whenever Pearsall had like their 150th anniversary. I know there's a word for that, like
Sesquicentennial.
Yeah, there you go, Rick.
Sesquicentennial.
Something like that. And she came into town, and my aunt, almost said aunt now, my aunt painted a plate for her that was about Pearsall. It was beautiful. She paints on ostrich eggs, which is really awesome. And she has her own kiln. She actually has like 2 or 3 kilns. She had to have extra electrical work ran to her house for these kilns. And she'll fire it and everything. It's just beautiful. I'll show it on the show sometime. Maybe I'll even have her on sometime. But what's really cool is she paints with real gold. Mm-hmm. And I did not realize this. Real gold, when you paint it, it will come in, it's like it shows up as black when you paint it. And then when you put it in the kiln and fire it, all that black burns off and the gold layer is revealed. And it is just absolutely beautiful. And so that's my Aunt Susan. And then I have an Aunt Karen as well in San Antonio. And you know what? All 3 of my aunts, I love them very much. And I've always felt like I've had a really strong family connection with my aunts. I miss one of my favorite things, Kay. Absolutely love being in church. Said maybe some of y'all can relate this morning. It's going to bring back some childhood memories. I loved sitting next to my Aunt Susan in church because she'd always sit here and scratch my neck and like scratch the back of my head. And I remember that to this day. And I'm just like, man, I wish I was sitting next to Aunt Susan this morning in church so I could have my neck scratched.
That was so she'd have a chance to just do this when you acted up.
Yeah. But I didn't, you know, but it was cool though. It was just, it's funny how your brain like circles back to memories when you were growing up and things that you just really remember.
But when you get to be at my age, you can't remember that far back.
What is the earliest memory since we're on this kick?
The earliest memory I have?
Memory that you have, Rick. As serious as...
Yesterday I went to the doctor.
Perfect. Like, there's a great friend of mine, Learning RX, Lisa Branch. She can figure out how to help you with that, Rick.
Lisa Branch probably could help me, but I've been afraid to ask her.
She could. Kay, were you going to say something a while ago? I was talking about my aunt, and it was the K. It was like this. This is the signal, Rick. I'll reach over and touch your knee, Rick.
Don't do that.
Just the refinement of gold. The burning process. You have to heat it up to get the impurities out, so it'll shine. Same thing happens with us and Jesus.
I love that. You got to burn out the impurities so you can shine. And maybe that, you know what, I love this, Kay. Man, that's a great analogy. This morning, here's the message already this morning. Today, you've got something going on in your life. And I know I mentioned it. It almost sounds the same every morning, but I want to talk about it every morning. That maybe today, this morning, you know what, there's something that's just been burning your heart for a while. There's something that you can't get over. There's something that has been holding you back. And friends, this morning, maybe you're giving attention and energy to something that is bringing you down. And I want to encourage you this morning, just what Kay said. I love that so much, Kay. Just like gold, you know what? Figure out a way this morning, and you do it through prayer, number one. You do it through your prayer and your faith, is burn those things out of your life. Burn out those impurities so you have a chance to shine. And it's not going to happen overnight. Just like putting a piece of artwork into a kiln, you can't just put it in there for 1 second. These things aren't microwaves. I mean, sometimes you got to fire this thing overnight. But look at that in your life. There's something today that maybe you need to fire over the next couple of weeks. And if you're a boss, I'm not telling you to fire your employees, but maybe.
But just for example, we've got a lot going on right now. There is a lot being thrown at us that we're having to burn through and walk through the fire, basically, in order to get to the other side. Monday's going to be a wonderful day.
It is.
But there's just so many deadlines that we have that are happening in the next 24 to 48 hours that we've got to walk through that fire to get to.
That's right. And you know what we got to do? We got to get this show going on time, which we almost did. And we got to get off the air.
I think you did
an
excellent job this morning.
Man, yesterday, I know you didn't have a chance to tune it. Yesterday was one of those. It was funny because, man, I was frustrated. I got up here, didn't have my both of my laptops, I had them in my backpack. I have 2 identical laptops because if one goes down, I always have a backup. And I use one of them for broadcasting. And, man, I had that thing, and I did not have that thing. That was a problem. I ran out of the house. I had everything in the garage because we had to use the truck to cart the young'uns around. And so I took everything out. We were at New Waverly. People that listened yesterday know the story, so you're like, is this deja vu? But, brought everything in. Totally overlooked the fact that the laptop bag was right next to the rest of the equipment. Got up here early. I was feeling good. 6:42. We were ready to go. I started undoing the bag, setting up the equipment. I looked in there, and I said, power adapter to the laptop. No laptop.
Oh, no.
Maybe it's in the back of my truck. Maybe that. You know what it was? It's because it's a North Dakota State backpack. Maybe that's bringing some bad juice. I should get a Sam Houston one. But they gave, it was really nice. They gave me a backpack when I was a really nice backpack, and I love that thing, and I use it all the time. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it's in the back of the truck. So I opened up the cabinet. Nope, not there. And it was funny because Jason's so mellow, but he did. I was getting frustrated. Jason's like, it's going to be all right, man. Everything's good. And I heard him though. He goes, oh, please be in the truck. I open up the back of the truck, the tailgate, because I have a little cover over the back. The laptops were not there. There's our wonderful Huntsville police driving by slowly this morning, so we can wave at them.
Checking us out.
Yeah, and I open up the tailgate, no bag. So, man, just in the heat of them, you know how sometimes in the heat of, we just had a series at First Baptist. Jason Bay is awesome. Pastor Bay, I'm going to just plug this real quick. If you don't have a church home, friends, I invite you. Come join me. 9:30 for Bible study. Got a great Bible study. And then 10:45, you can hear a wonderful message from Pastor Jason Bay. But he just had a series called Meltdown. And did you know in that lickety-split of a moment, I had a meltdown yesterday morning. Just a dumb meltdown. I'm going to call it a dumb meltdown. How many dumb meltdowns have you ever had?
I have them here recently a lot.
And it's those things, but do you think about it, though? It's those things that then you have this and then you
yours
feel.
Are prednisone-induced.
Yeah, mine are.
Yours are
steroid induced.
Yeah, I've been seeing it at Ironworks and that prednisone, man. You just give me more Preds, baby. Rick, I'm just kidding. I know it's for something else, Rick.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about how many little dumb meltdowns do we have in life? Things that you do something and then right after you just feel like that was so ignorant.
Exactly. That's the way I felt the last couple of days. I get mad at her and it's not her fault.
Yeah. And you know what? And I get frustrated and take it out on Bridget sometimes. And sweetheart, if you're watching, you are watching. I just saw your comment there. I apologize to you. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in life and our own little world that we have these mini meltdowns. And then after you do it, after you say, like yesterday, when all this happened, we have WhatsApp. And that's how Bridget and I chat through WhatsApp because she has an Apple. I have a Android. I refuse to get an Apple. And she's been wanting me to get an Apple for 10 years. I won't do it. I had one once. I'm not a fan. So we use WhatsApp. And so I'm frustrated. And what do? I start texting her on it. Oh, I'm so fed up with this morning. I can't believe and I'm sitting there airing out my complaints to her over WhatsApp. And then afterwards, I get to the house in the garage. I get my equipment. She hasn't read the complaints yet. And I was like, you know what? I don't want her to wake up reading my complaints. This has nothing to do with her. So I deleted them. There's 5 of them. And I called her too. It was funny because she messaged me and she goes, everything all right? I said, yeah, why? She goes, well, you called me and then you deleted 5 messages that I didn't read. I said, yes. And I thought about it and I was airing out, that I was upset because I left laptop. It was nothing about her or anything. It was just me blowing off steam on WhatsApp. because I wanted somebody to vent to. And I was like, you know what? That's not fair for me to vent my own issues that have nothing to do with her. Why am I going to bring her world down this morning because I'm upset because I've ignorantly left 2 laptops at home? And it was funny because I talked about in those moments when we have these mini meltdowns that how dumb we feel afterwards. And I'm going to say the word. We do. We feel dumb afterwards sometimes because we act total irresponsible in our emotions. I like slammed my tailgate on the truck. And I'm sitting there thinking when I did it, I was like, man, I've never got upset in front of Jason. Jason's the nicest guy.
He's a pretty nice guy.
And it was funny because, and then I drove and I sent him a message yesterday. And I said, man, I feel like with everything that's going on in the world, and it's tragic what we're seeing with things in the Middle East and, what's happening in Israel. It's just heartbreaking. I said, is this little problem, is it even, no, it's nothing. What I'm dealing with this morning is absolutely nothing. And that was kind of laid on my heart. It's like, just, what, get over it. Get over this meltdown. It was funny because I came back and Jason and I were kind of joking off camera and off microphone. And I said, yeah, man, I slammed that tailgate. And I was kind of worried. And he goes, well, it is a Ford.
Fix or repair daily.
Yeah, fix or repair daily. But, friends, just think about that this morning. There's some impurities that may be in your life, some things. And I love how Kaye just described it this morning. Find a way to put those in the kiln, burn those things off, and just focus on the goodness. Because behind all of that heartache, behind all of those layers, when you burn it off, there is a pure gold in your life. There is something that shines so bright. And to me,
I have my gold
that's
right
what
here.
it is.
Oh.
That's just gonna tear me up, Rick. So
I'm not going to tear up.
thank you for holding it together for us. Friends, let us know what you're thankful for this morning. A lot of Bridget was texting in earlier when I was talking about it. She goes, sounds familiar. Love you, sweetheart. Hey, our friend Jay Killa in the house. Jay Killa. Justin, can you change your name on Facebook to Jay Killa, please? Justin Killingsworth over at the Color Bar here in Huntsville. Join us. Good morning, buddy. He will not be with us tomorrow because he's only with me on the first Thursday of the month. I'm kind of sad about that, Justin, because I always enjoy, but we're getting to meet more of his employees every single week, which is great. So good morning to you. Also, Cindy Pate joining us this morning. Cindy, I don't know if I've seen you comment before. She's saying, good morning, y'all. Good to see you, Cindy. Kyle Kreiner joining in this morning, saying every day when we were talking about the mini meltdowns, our friend Jay Elms over at Century Security. Jay, I want you to be on the show sometime, man. So we need to chat. I was thinking of you this morning. But Jay is saying, good morning, everyone. Going to be a great day. Danny Webb, good morning to you, Danny, saying good morning as well. Appreciate you, my friend. Quentin Glaze chiming in this morning, saying good morning. And Jamie Saucier, and we're going to showcase something here in a little bit. He's saying it's a great morning in Huntsville. Friends, we do have a great show lined up today. We're just going to keep it here with Rick and Kaye because we wanted to devote this show to talk about a very important event that's coming up on Saturday. It's an event that all of you need to be a part of, and it's something that we wholeheartedly believe in here in this community that's important for our children. We'll talk about that on the other side. So you got to just keep on your toes
When
this
you
morning.
get around to it.
When I was wondering what that. I was like, "This is like an AA chip or something, Rick." Man, congratulations! I thought it was, man. I was like, I didn't know. I'm not knocking that because I know a lot of people that are dealing with addiction. But I was like, Rick, that's pretty cool, man. You're going to open up on the show this morning about some addiction you have, and I thought this was your chip, man.
I don't even know what a chip is.
Yeah.
So to it, right there. What does the TUIT mean? Is it just
Round to it.
It's around to it. Everybody always says they'll do something when they get around to it. There's your round to it.
well, around to it? I'll get around to it tomorrow. You know what? We will get around to it here in a minute. Talking to Rick and Kaye Boehning about this important event. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a brief break. National news and also some of our wonderful sponsors. We'll be back on the other side. Huntsville, it's your show. Good morning, Huntsville, as we continue on a Wednesday.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken will travel to Israel this week to show U.S. support for the country following attacks by the Palestinian militant group Hamas. He's expected to arrive tomorrow to meet with senior Israeli officials and to hear about the situation on the ground. Hamas launched a barbaric attack on Israel Saturday. More than 1,000 civilians were killed, including 14 Americans. The Biden administration says at least 20 Americans are currently missing in the conflict. New York Congressman George Santos is facing new criminal charges, including conspiracy and wire fraud. A 23-count indictment was filed by federal prosecutors on Long Island, accusing the Republican of stealing people's identities and making changes on his donors' credit cards without permission. Prosecutors allege some of the stolen money ended up in Santos' personal bank account. Santos was originally indicted in May by federal prosecutors and is due back in court on October 27th. Hurricane Lydia has made landfall in Mexico as a Category 4 storm. The National Hurricane Center reported Lydia slammed into Puerto Vallarta last night and is expected to bring up to 8 inches of rain to the area. The NHS called the storm extremely dangerous and warned residents flash floods, mudslides are possible, especially along the coast. The Hurricane Center has sustained winds of about 140 miles per hour, and the storm is moving northeast at 16 miles per hour. The path of the storm is heading towards the center of Mexico. Microsoft Windows October patch was released yesterday with security updates for 104 flaws, including 3 actively reported zero-day vulnerabilities. While 45 remote code execution bugs were fixed, Microsoft only rated 12 vulnerabilities as critical, all of which are remote code execution flaws. USA News.
Right now, you can eliminate odors, mold, mildew, bacteria, and viruses in your home with the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules that seek out and destroy odors. The Thunderstorm doesn't mask or cover up bad smells, it eliminates them, leaving that fresh, clean smell, just like after a thunderstorm. The Thunderstorm is small, plugs right into the wall, and fits in the palm of your hand. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, kitchen, or anywhere you want clean, fresh air. It even includes a USB cord for your car or truck. Right now, save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. That's 3 units for under $200, a fraction of the cost compared to other air purifiers. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code USA3 to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use USA and the number 3. Shipping is free.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kaye Boehning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
Rick, I think we're done.
Are we?
I think we're done, Rick. You know, I wasn't feeling it on that one.
I wasn't either. What happened to your music palette?
Well, you know, it's more like the rock music that really gets us going. I couldn't determine, was that like a piano? What?
I thought it was strings.
What instruments were in it? This is a fun game. It's like children. Whenever you're a child, the teacher will play music, and then you figure out what instruments are there. So I don't know what that was. It's probably all computer generated. Let's be honest. That's all children nowadays.
It's a Moog.
What instrument was that? It was synthetic modulation through the FM transmitter of the computer system. Okay, little Johnny. Wow. Way to go, buddy. Speaking of which, yesterday, welcome back in here on Good Morning Huntsville, brought to you on a Wednesday by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Everyone let us know that you're out there today and what you're thankful for. Speaking of which, yesterday, I've always had like this tendency to play the piano and took lessons when I was younger and I just love the piano. Never really got into it much. So I can pick at it and play a few chords here and there. But I started thinking with how interactive Braylon is. It's unbelievable. My little girl, she'll be 2 in November 17th. it's unbelievable how she's starting to build those magnetic blocks. In my opinion, are one of the greatest toys that I've ever seen. I wish I would have had them when I was a child. You know what I'm talking about? The Magna blocks, unbelievable. And
they're fun to play with now.
oh man, yeah, and we bought some Adler Family Toys. Our friends over at Adler Family Toys, they sell them. If you don't have them and you have children, or you have adult children like Rick and I, we're adult children.
We would be playing with them.
We would be playing with them right now if we had them here on the show alongside that fidget spinner.
Is
but
Adler listening?
Adler Family Toys has them. Go over there and buy them because I'm telling you, it's the coolest thing. Little square blocks. They have triangles, little cars, everything. It's all magnets. Bridget and sent me a picture the other day. Braylon learned she used to just kind of throw them together. Well, now she's very meticulous, and it's so cool to watch her. Is she'll put them together and makes tubes and makes houses out of them. And she knows at the top to put triangles now. The other day, she took all the triangles and she put them together and made a circle.
Oh.
And I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, kind of a circle. Obviously, it's not a full circle, but she figured out how to piece them together and made this huge circle. And so I thought, man, if
It's toys like that develop the mind, working puzzles and anything with wood, building things. Those things are what is valuable for a child's brain, not the phone and the electronic toys.
This right here, when you put this in front of and we do once in a while, I'll be honest, we do, like Braylon will watch some little programs once in a while. One of our favorites, Miss Rachel, she does like that. And I do attribute the Miss Rachel some of what she's learned because we don't put her in front of it for an hour, maybe 15 minutes. And she's learned to count. And Braylon now can count to like 11, and it's unbelievable. And because that's all, Rachel counts a lot on her show. She's like, 1, 2, 3. And now it's so funny because there's all these wannabe Miss Rachels, and I'm like, y'all are just trying way too hard. Now, I'm not a fan, and people can agree to disagree on that. I'm not a fan of like Blippi. I just can't. I'm just not a fan. I don't like that show. Can't stand it. Blue's Clues, not a fan. A lot of and there's some substance to some of those, but I'm not a big like entertainment type dad where I want my child watching entertainment. I'd rather them watch something educational. I will say this. We did watch Little Rascals the other night. She loved it, and she watched the whole movie, and she really enjoyed that movie. And then she was walking around going, I got pickle, hey, 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 hey. So, it's kind of funny how they latch on to stuff. But
So,
I don't even know what I was
Not
talking
to
about.
change the subject, but how's she doing?
She's doing great. She had a little surgery on Monday. That's why I brought all this up. So let me finish this one thought because the ADD is kicking in, man. I need that fidget spinner to like refocus me. But the ADD, that's ADD again right there, fidgeting now. But it was really cool because I said, if she's this interested in building stuff and using her hands and her imagination already at 22 months, maybe she's going to be interested in the piano. And so I downloaded a piano app on my phone, and man, she just immediately fell in love with it. And she's all ding, 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 she's like, music, Daddy. She said music, like she understood that it was music. So I'm very seriously thinking, and then of course I go on YouTube and I was like, piano childhood prodigies. Now she's far from anything like that. But there's a little boy that was 2 years old, and he was picking around on a piano, and at 6 he was playing it, and 5 he was playing at Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
And playing Mozart, and played it beautifully without even flubbing at all. It was unbelievable. And so I started thinking, man, maybe I should get a piano and see what she thinks of it. So I'm thinking about getting a little small piano. I don't want like some, cheap plastic toy one that's going to break. I mean, I want to get it because I want to get back
Just
into it
get a
as
little
well.
keyboard.
Yeah, a little keyboard. I want to get a nice keyboard.
Even those little toy xylophones, that's an octave. And most songs are played with an octave. So you can teach Jesus Loves You, or Jesus Loves Me. You can teach a bunch of different child songs and things with that octave.
The song that I want to teach her, Rick, did we ever sing it on this show? The Bible. Yes, that's the book for me. Did you ever hear that song growing up?
I heard you sing it, and I've never,
I stand alone on the Word of God. I want to hear that in an adult choir instead of a children's setting. The Bible. Yes, that's the book for me. You have to kind of get that, that Rodney Dangerfield voice. Didn't he have that kind of that voice? Sound like a Rottweiler when he talks.
You don't want to hear me sing. It's not good.
All right. Oh, hey, friends. Big event coming up this Saturday, and all of you need to be at it. Every single one of you need to be at it. Every one of you.
I'll be there.
You better be there. You better get down there and get the rest of it, too. Big, huge event. And friends, in all seriousness, this is an event that is so important to our community because it involves childhood literacy. And I know that there's a lot going on throughout our community on the weekends and a lot of family activities, but this is something that I really want you to focus on this morning. We've been talking about it all week. In fact, our keyword this morning, and I want to invite you this morning to text in if you haven't already. Keyword is lasso, along with your name, on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, 936-339-0139 for your chance to win a ticket to this event. Kaye, I'll let you take it away. I just wanted to say, Kaye, take it away.
Well, 90% of your learning or your brain development happens the first 5 years of life. And unfortunately, if you're in a disadvantaged household, there's about one book for every 300 children. And middle-class families aren't doing much better. They have 13 books. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which is what we're doing, we're raising money to pay for the mailing of books to children in our town. And if they get signed up on this program, they'll get a book a month until they turn 5. So they can possibly get 60 books if they're signed up at birth, which we have a partnership with the hospital to pass out enrollment forms to all the babies being born. So the program is going to continue to grow. We're sending out over 900 books a month. 925 the other day is what we hit.
Wow, it's continuing to grow.
And so, it costs between $25 and $30 per child per year to send out these books, which kind of adds up after a while. And the major thing is to get the books in the home so that they can start building their brains and their vocabulary and their knowledge, and get them started in school. We've got children going to school right now that's never even seen a book. And then you've got children that are in school, starting school, that know how to read. And so that's an 18-month gap, and then we're expecting our school system to be able to fix that.
Can I interrupt you on one thing, Kaye, because this just hit home when you said this, and I hope you don't mind. I don't want to gloss over what Kaye just said. There's children starting school that have never seen a book. I want each and every one of us to stop and take a moment and think about that. Think about your childhood. Think about your children this morning. Do your children have books in their homes? More than likely, a lot of folks that are watching the show, probably so. But think about that. Put yourself into someone else's shoes. And I'm not blaming the parents. I'm not putting any blame or talking down about any parents this morning or any guardians that have children. Maybe they just don't have the resources. Something as simple as a book that we think is simple, that could be a huge cost to a family. Mm-hmm. Think about that this morning.
Well, even going to the library, the gas to go over to the library, some families don't even have the gas or even a working car to go to the library. I mean, and the other aspect of it is I want all the children to have the books, because then they all have the same vocabulary. They all have the same experiences. They walk into the classroom, and they see a book on the teacher's desk, The Little Engine That Could, and, oh, I've got that book. Oh, I've got that book too. Now we're friends instead of, oh, well, you don't look like me, or you don't have the right outfit on, or whatever. So they have a commonality and a sense of community from day one, from seeing the same books and seeing that they have them and their friend has them.
This is what's so important about this event. It's Lasso Your Imagination. It's happening on Saturday at the Walker County Storm Shelter.
Walker County Fairgrounds.
Walker County Fair. I'm so confused with the storm shelter because it's storming, and there was an event there yesterday. There's another event. Walker County Fairgrounds happening
on Saturday.
We need to rename buildings here in this community so they don't sound the same too. We need to rename.
Well, she said that we only give them to the city. We give them to Walker County.
Yeah,
Walker County.
The entire county, friend. And here's the deal. We've talked about it on this show, and maybe this morning there's somebody joining us that said, I didn't know about this. These books are 100% free. Well, how are they free? Well, one, Dolly Parton pays for the cost of the books. But the United States Postal Service, they're not generous. They're not going to allow us to ship things for free. USPS loses $2-3 billion a year. Somehow they're still in business. I wish I could have a business that loses money. I'm just saying. But somebody has to pay for it, and this is Tomorrow's Promise, a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in town, and it's not. And here's another thing too: Tomorrow's Promise is not owned. Kaye Boehning is not the owner of Tomorrow's Promise.
No,
she is the founder and president of Tomorrow's Promise. Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah.
Like The nonprofit, nobody owns a nonprofit. Kaye has a board. There's transparency. There's governance within Tomorrow's Promise as a 501c3. And so Kaye is not the owner. She is the president and founder of this organization. And she has done such a tremendous job bringing awareness to childhood literacy here in our community. And there's other programs. That's what I love about Huntsville. You know what? Kaye gets them started, 0 to 5 years old. There's other programs out there that will pick it up from there and continue it on. But this is the game. This is the foundation.
Yeah,
What you're doing.
a dollar spent in early childhood saves $16 later, and a neglected child, a 3-year-old neglected child's brain is about this big, and a regular child's brain is about this big. It's almost as big as our brain. And how do you overcome that size difference in a brain? That's because they don't have those experiences. That brain hasn't had a chance to grow, and so. You get to school, it's hard to overcome that. It's almost too late. I mean, it takes lots and lots of work, lots and lots of money.
If you start reading to your child, they learn to associate books with love, and they learn to love to read.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool, and the only thing I can go back on is my children. I'm so thankful to be a parent now because it's things that I used to talk about because I thought that I knew before I had children, but now it's been reaffirmed that I have children now, the things that I used to talk about. And it's so cool to see my little girl reading to her every night. And I do, even when I don't feel good. I mean, I was, a while back, I was sick for almost 3 weeks off and on. And I didn't want her to get sick, but the doctor was like, you're not contagious. Everything's fine. So, I'm sitting there feeling terrible, but I knew that it was still important to read to her. And it's so cool now to see your children as they grow up. And it's Braylon's favorite thing to do now. I truthfully believe at night, that's our favorite thing to do. We have a routine. And then she's starting to say, books, Daddy, book. And she wants to get a book. And I let her pick out a book. And every night, and she'll pick out, the other night, man, she picked out the 3 Bears like 2 nights in a row. I was like, I guess I'll read it again. And that bear.
Each time you're reading it, she's learning something more. Because sometimes they read the same book over and over again, maybe 30 times in a row, but they're starting to pick out the words. They're memorizing the story, and then they can look back at that book and start picking out those words. And so sometimes you can just read the same book over and over again, and they'll learn to read that book without, being actually taught how to read. They'll memorize the certain words on that page.
Think of that as an adult with the Bible. If we only read it once, where would we be? And there's pastors that read it. I was talking to a guy the other day, he said every year he's been doing it 34. It's his 34th year, and he's read it through 34 times. And you can always pick out something new. That's so right, Kaye. And I just love seeing it with Braylon. And again, that's the only thing that I can really look at as far as what I've seen kind of firsthand is whenever Rick mentioned love through reading a book, she loves doing that. And it's cool because now she's like, cover, and I lay down, we have a guest bed, so she'll lay down next to me. And now she's like, cover up, Daddy. So she wants to cover up. She snuggles up. And then she'll hand me the book. She used to flip through it. Now she hands me the book and she goes, read it. And she gets mad if I don't read it to her.
Teacher said, please.
And she does. So she burped yesterday, and she goes, excuse me. It was the coolest thing ever. She knew, she burped and said, excuse me. So but she does. She says, please and thank you.
When you read the book, do you use different voices?
Yeah, I do. And I point to things, too. And I don't just skim through the pages. And one thing that I've done is I'll take her little finger, and that's how I've really helped to teach her to count is I'll say, the 3 little pigs. How many pigs are there, Braylon? And she used to go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was like, no. I said, that's good, but that's not right. And I said, here, let me take your finger. And I take her finger and I put it on the pigs and I say, 1, 2, 3. And then she looks at me like, 3 pigs, Daddy, yay! Starts clapping.
But see, those little things like that, there's
up.
A lot of parents that don't have any idea how to read and interact with their child, like what you're talking about. They were never taught when they were little. They were never shown. Some of the benefits of the Dolly Parton Imagination books is they do come with a little bit of an explanation, especially in the 3 and 4-year-old books. They have a flap on the front that talks about questions to ask your child and things like that for the parent that doesn't know how to communicate, and it helps with the parenting skills, and it helps develop that emotional and intelligence in the children. Also, not only just their literacy, but the books come with help, like you were just talking about.
There's the little flap, and it's cool because there's a little caricature, and it's got Rick's head on it, and it says "Help for Rick," and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just kidding, Rick. I'm just kidding. But you're right, though. It is really good. Rick's like, I'm done with the show. But thank goodness Kaye's in between us because I didn't, I still have a mark from a couple of years ago, Rick, so before we even had the show. But in all seriousness, though, you're right, and I love that. The flap has it. It tells you kind of, hey, here's how you read with your child. Here's how you do this. And by the way, we just got our first, every child, the very first book is always the same. It's The Little Engine That Could, and Caden got that book. So he got his first book the other day, and we are so looking forward to him receiving more of these books. Again, friends, this is what this event is about on Saturday. It is Lasso Your Imagination. Kaye, let us know about maybe some of the events. What can folks expect at Lasso this year?
Well, Stacy Lawler and Billy Papania are cooking. Stacy's, well known for his barbecue, and Billy's going to have some boudin out there. So we've got award-winning cooks. There's going to be some adult beverages and regular beverages.
I'm not allowed to have those.
We've got all kinds of things in a silent auction. We've got a live auction going on and a dessert auction. Then there'll be the Huntsville Promenaders will be out there.
Oh, I just met them.
Square Dance Club.
That is cool. I have to cut you off again, Kaye, because my ADD. Sorry, but I just met. I was helping at the First Baptist Church booth. We gave away like 2,000 bottles of water, and towards the end of it, the Huntsville. I didn't even know they existed. I met the lady. And I'm going to have them on the show sometime.
They're fabulous.
They were dressed up. He had a bolo. He looked just like his wife, except obviously he wasn't wearing a dress. But I was like, this is cool. Huntsville Promenaders.
And then after the auctions and stuff, if you want to hang around, stick around, and have some more drinks and line dancing, we can. We've got a lasso demonstration. You can try out trying to lasso a steer head if you want to.
And let me tell you that if you have enough adult beverages, you cannot line dance.
Yeah.
Or at least not in a straight line.
Yeah. Well, it's a squiggly line dance is what it turns into, the lasso squiggly line dance. So.
But we've got all kinds of things lined up for the auction. We've got a hunt from Kyle Cassell's Tonka Way Ranch. We've got a haunted tour of the upstairs of the old jailhouse that's not open to the public. We've got a wine tour. We've got a firefighter for the day. The child can get, that wins can get taken to the school in a fire truck.
I want that one.
There might be an age limit, but I don't know.
My friend, I just hopped on Huntsville, Texas news and events group because we can't see those comments unless I manually go to it. And Melissa Barham from Advantage Specialties, good morning, and she's saying I will be there. It'll be a great evening, so it's going to be exciting. Melissa will be there as well. Good. What are some of the? Can you talk about some of the auction items that maybe a few of them? We don't want to give everything away, but
Elliot's Jewelers has donated a diamond necklace. Guardian Defense has donated an AR-15.
Oh, you should see that
Texas edition.
You posted a picture of it, yeah.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Rick, you can't enter to win that one. Sorry.
I would love to bid on that, but I just it'd be like paying myself to do the Dolly Parton thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just ask him to make me one.
Yeah.
Justin with the Color Bar has donated a year's worth of color.
Wow.
To auction off.
I need some color.
We have a Joe Montana signed and framed jersey.
I may try to bid on that bad boy.
Does anybody know who Joe Montana was?
Yeah, 49ers quarterback, man. Also, the Joe Montana Sports Talk football on the Sega Genesis. It's 1st down and 10, and I can't believe it. That game was so funny. I know I'm going off topic here, but that game, it was one of the first games for a console in the Sega Genesis. Obviously, there was an Atari and then Nintendo, and then Sega Genesis came. Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis kind of changed the game. And we had Joe Montana Sports Talk football. It was one of the first games that I ever remember that talked to you. And it was funny because the game had glitches. All those old school games always had glitches. And so if you would punt or if you would go for a field goal or you would punt it on 3rd down, the announcer would get confused and it would go like, it's 3rd down and 2 and the field goal. I can't believe it. And so he always said that. I can't believe it. Anyways, when I think of Joe Montana, I think of I can't believe it. So I may be bidding on that jersey there, Kaye.
Oh, good.
Yeah, pretty cool.
We've got a Discovery flight that's been donated by Terry and Wade Gillespie.
Oh, that's cool.
So
for folks that don't know what a Discovery flight is, many of you may, but if you ever wanted to be slightly interested in aviation, A Discovery flight, you always take the Discovery flight first, and that kind of gets your feet wet. You actually get to sit in there in the cockpit with the pilot. You get to move the controls around. When I did a Discovery flight, it was with a gentleman that was in his mid-80s in Taylor, Texas. My dad said, don't get up there with that man and he have a heart attack because you won't know how to land the plane. He did not have a heart attack. It was a 67 Cherokee Piper. I barely fit in it. He had no electronics. It was all manual instrumentation. And he was a very tough instructor, but I learned a lot. And I also learned that aviation is not for me. But it is cool, though. It is cool to be up there and do that. He took me in a stall right away, scared me to death.
Yep.
And he goes, I said, oh, what is this buzzer? He's like, let off the stick. The plane will save itself. And he was, because those old school planes, you just let off.
I'm not sure Terry and Wade are going to let you do that.
Don't worry. They won't because they are, of good, solid mind. They are not 85. And let's just say maybe all things aren't firing in the noggin. Their noggins are firing very well. Anyways, go ahead, Kaye. Sorry, I just had to bring that up. It is a lot of fun. I would actually consider bidding on that, too. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a wine pool and lots of little, at least 60-40 chance of getting something besides just the bottle of wine.
Explain the wine pool a little bit more because I was introduced to it a few years ago at Rotary. Elliot Herzlich had brought it to us for our wine quest, and it was a very successful part of the evening. So explain a little bit more about how the wine pool works.
You could, there'll be red wine and white wine and bags. And you can go up and you pay $25 and grab your choice of red or white. You don't know what brand it is or anything like that, and you get a surprise. Some of them will have something in it. There's a couple of things from Elliot's that's in there. There's some gift certificates. There's different things along with the bottle of wine, but you get to taste some of the wine from our different wineries around the area.
Don't worry, it is not Franzia boxed wine that Rick and I have behind the scenes poured into Ziploc bags. Don't worry. It's good wine. Yeah.
No, the wine is valued at about $25.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Those events are great. Clay Talsworth, our friend over at 0 Degree, messaging in this morning. Good morning to you. And he said, how can we bid on items? Do we need to be present? I would assume yes.
Yes. I don't have a way for you to do remote auctioneering kind of thing. We may look into that, but no, you have to be present.
We want you to be, because look, whenever you get around, community is what's important. And so, it's like someone told me the other day, I don't need to go to church, I just watch it online. You know what? If you're sick or something, I understand. I think COVID is one of those things that just kind of changed the way of life for a lot of people. Of course, a lot of folks working from home now and all that. But now employers are starting to realize, hey, we really need people back in the office because there is something whenever we get together. The Bible says where 2 or more are gathered. And it's so important. That doesn't mean like virtually, and I'm not knocking it, but friends, anytime that you can be in person, you need to be in person because when you're with each other, that's what builds community. Communication is so important with each other, and we need to be physically around people. You can't just be in a corner or be on a chat. It's like whenever we were in Fargo.
There is that connection because, you text somebody and you can say, I feel fine. Well, I feel fine. There's.
Can you say that again?
I feel fine.
Pretty good.
But there's so many times, even if you use an emoji, that can be misconstrued as to whether you're in a good mood, a bad mood, you're griping or this or that. From texting, it's the same thing with, sometimes even talking on the phone. You don't quite catch all the mannerisms. Being face-to-face in person is the best way to communicate. And going out there and, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of friends. And
well, perfect example, like when you try to communicate by text, I have a really close friend of mine, and yesterday he was trying to meet with me to give me something, and he said, hey, I can't meet at 3 today. I can meet you at noon. And then I was like, hey, I have a ribbon cutting at MLK Community Center tomorrow and then a networking event. And I said, can you meet me at Safe House right at noon or slightly before? And he goes, that won't work. And I was sitting there thinking, well, and if I would have talked to him on the phone, and there was nothing bad about this at all, he and I are friends, but he said, that won't work. Well, I was just like, well, you just said you could meet me at noon. So, there's confusion there. And so when he came in, he's like, well, I can meet you at your studio. So when he came in, I was like, hey, I hope that text message like didn't come across he's like, no, not at all. But to me it did, because I'm sitting there like, I hope this guy doesn't think I'm upset at him. But I was like, you just said you could meet me at noon. That's why it's so important that we talk in person, be in person. And so I know many of you may have something going on Saturday, but if you don't, come in person, be a part of Lasso Your Imagination. Going to be an important night.
We really look forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah.
We need you.
I don't know that
I got
many
lots
people.
of hugs to give out.
Yeah, and Kaye there's certain people in town that have certain qualities, okay? Marcus Gillespie, you know him from Rotary. I have coined him now as the best handshake in Huntsville. I saw him at Fair on the Square. And man, it's just a mighty handshake. You know, and he's a smaller guy. He's not like this big buff guy, but he gives us the best handshake. It's a good old, it's like, shake my hand for 5 minutes, man. Loosen up some of these joints that are hurting, you know? He's the best handshake in town. The best smile in Huntsville is Emily O'Rear. She is the smile of Huntsville.
She's very...
The hug of Huntsville, Kaye Boehning. Still trying to figure out what Rick is. I haven't found
Sarcasm.
The best sarcasm of Huntsville. You're like the guy that came in here the other day. He came up to my studio early in the morning. Well, what are you doing here? I said, we just, we just promote the good, celebrate all the great things happening in Huntsville. We promote the good. And he, ain't nothing good in this town. I've been here my whole life.
And why are you still here?
Yeah, and I said, well, man, thank goodness that those vehicles have a gas pedal, and there's a Highway 30 right down the road, and boy, that thing just shoots right over to Bryan College Station one way, or if you want to go to some way the other way, just get on it, man. I didn't tell him that, but, we got to celebrate.
But you were thinking it.
I was thinking it, but I didn't say it.
Thank you for not saying it.
Yeah, because we're all about loving each other. But it's true, Kaye. You are the hug of Huntsville. So there you go. I'm going to make it. We need to get a character. I'm big on these character drawings, just like our Good Morning Huntsville graphic. I want to have a character drawing of Kaye, but I want it to be like this large version of Kaye, like a big version of Kaye, and then I want to have the Sam Houston statue. I want to have her hugging all of these things in Huntsville. I want to have different people in Huntsville. The statue, like the Sammy the Bearcat, the Buzzy, and it's just Kaye hugging all of it at once. Wouldn't that be cool? We could sell these T-shirts, I think, on the new Hello Huntsville store.
I'd like to have one of those.
Yeah. So Kaye, we're going to figure out how to make that happen. The hug of Huntsville, and we'll give it to you. When's your birthday?
Actually, it's Friday after this coming Friday, the next one. Friday the 20th.
Your birthday's
Next
coming
Friday.
up?
Next Friday.
Friday the 20th.
Oh. Next Friday.
Next Friday or Friday after next?
No. Not this Friday,
Friday
but next
the 20th.
So next Friday. Have you ever seen the Friday movies? There's Friday after. There's Friday, next Friday, and Friday after next. Have you ever seen those movies?
No.
Probably not family-friendly movies, but growing up, pretty funny. Pretty funny. There's this guy's dad is the dog catcher in the movie. It's really funny. So it's Friday. It's Ice Cube, I think, is in it. So it's one of those type fun movies. So
you know I'm old, right?
Yeah.
Only movies I've seen are black and white.
Yeah. Well, the Technicolor came out, 50 years ago, Rick.
Yeah, I'm older than that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we remember when the world was black and white.
We remember when the world was that everyone thought the world was flat.
It was.
Well, friends, again, please be a part of it. We are giving away a ticket today, $50 value to Lasso Your Imagination. A lot of great things. And most importantly, this isn't to support Tomorrow's Promise. This isn't to support an organization, really. This is to support the youth and our youngest young people in Walker County, 0 to 5 years old. That money goes to pay for the shipping cost of these books to get out. 925 books now. I saw you last week, and it was like 910. I mean, the number keeps going up.
Well,
yes.
At Fair on the Square, we passed out several applications.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, whenever we mention it, usually somebody tells somebody, and we don't spend any money on advertising. So, that might be a goal eventually if we could advertise that we're doing this. But there are every single dime that's raised is going to go to paying for the books to be mailed. I do all the administration of the program.
No.
Well, you've how
Rick's
many
like-
how many
Rick's
have you
like, "Wait a
approved
minute."
out of 900 out of the
Probably 20.
1,500 what's it 1,500 no 3,500 children that we've helped in the last 5 years get a book.
Have I done any?
Yes.
Then I'm helped.
Rick's it's late at night, like midnight, and there's this approval notification on his phone. Approved, yes. And it's there's your 20, Rick.
But we have open enrollment. I do not want to tell any child no.
Yeah.
That I want every child that wants to have a book to get a book.
And you haven't had to tell anyone no, really.
We've had to cough up some money out of our pockets several times.
Yeah, and that's why it's important.
That's why we're doing the
we need
fundraisers
people
now.
to have the fundraisers, exactly.
Rick and I don't make that much money to pay for the program anymore. But when it first started, and when there was 4 children, we could cough up the money personally.
Not too bad, But now 925 and growing.
But a lot of organizations, they say it costs $30 to $35 per year per child, because they're charging a $5 administrative fee to administer the program. There is no charges being put on to pay for any administrative costs. We have had generous donors come in and help with the cost of the venue and things like that, and with the food and so forth. So every dime raised is going to go to the books, mailing the books for the children.
Again, this event happening this Saturday, October the 14th, from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Walker County Fairgrounds. And so get on down there. As my friend Joshua Harris at the Oak Ridge Disciple House says, he's also our studio sponsor, Spirit Radio. Get on down there and get the rest of it. So be out there on Saturday. It's going to be a great event. Friends, we'll continue to talk about it, even though we've, today we wanted to dedicate the show to really highlighting more about this program and what it benefits and why you need to be there on Saturday. We're going to continue to talk about this even after the event's over. It's something that, Kaye, just your passion is so apparent in what you do. And now that I receive books for my children, I said, you know what, this is something that I'm very passionate about as well. And we want to make sure that this resource continues here in Huntsville. For now, though, we're going to step aside, take a brief break. When we come back, we'll have our winner. Somebody out there today has won a ticket to Lasso Your Imagination. We'll have that winner and more when we wrap it up. When we come back, I want to remind you, all you got to do is text in the keyword lasso. Lasso. Can you sing that word real quick?
I cannot sing.
Can you try it real quick?
Lasso.
Lasso. There you go. Man, I'm so glad I got y'all to sing. People listening aren't, but I am. Keyword, I'm just kidding. Keyword lasso along with my name. That's when I sang. They all left. Lasso along with your name on the Grady Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. We'll continue to celebrate all things good when we wrap it up here on your show, Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be right back after this.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kaye Boehning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Welcome back.
I feel like we should let the dogs out now.
Are you going to teach Braylon how to play that and have tunes on it?
Yeah, this thing is pretty neat. You know, Rick, this is the greatest gift, besides the gift of salvation, that anyone could ever receive. This is just great.
I kind of thought you'd put it on your truck, but...
Nah, I just like it to be in here, you know. It doesn't smell weird yet either, so...
Yes. Is there a timeline for that?
The old musty... Hey, that's a children's book, The Old Musty Horn. Pawpaw used to play the horn. Mama used to tell me about it. One day I found the horn in the attic. I smelled it. It was musty. The old musty horn. I'm not a fan of Dr. Seuss. I've made that very known on this show. Kaye, I'm just not. I wanted your thoughts on, like, Dr. Seuss books. I read those things, and it's just, like, what was this guy doing when he wrote those books? I'm not a Dr. Seuss. People are going to, that's like one day somebody, you know, I made a joke about Mr. Rogers. This guy was, like, about to go off on me. I literally thought he was going to, like, just tackle me and punch me. It was a joke. Obviously, Mr. Rogers was a great man, but I'm just not a Dr. Seuss fan. Braylon picked out a Dr. Seuss book. I was like, please don't pick that thing out. I just don't like them.
I have several that are favorites. Like I like the Butter Battle book. Is it the Butter Battle book? No, the Lorax and the Sneetches and Green Eggs and Ham.
I don't like that Green Eggs and Ham, Sam I Am. I don't like Green Eggs and Ham.
But there's a story behind it. I mean, you know, a lot of times you just say you don't like something.
What problem do you have with Theodore Geisel?
With who?
Dr. Seuss.
Oh, I didn't know I just knew him as Dr. Seuss. Well, I don't know what it is, man.
Now the One Fish, Two Fish book, you know, Red Fish, Blue Fish. I like them for the very little ones because it is teaching, you know, the colors and things like that. But the ones that have morals with them are always my favorites.
You know what I like about that One Fish, Two Fish book, by the way? It turns into a rap song. My buddy Gordon has done this on radio up in Fargo. I'm going to just give you a few lines, and we don't have any music to it, but it goes like this. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish, old fish, new fish. This one has a little card. This one has a little star. Say what a lot of fish there are. Yeah, some are red, some are blue, some are old, and some are new. Some are sad, some are glad, and some are very, very bad. You can turn it into a rap song.
Fabulous.
Come on, Rick. Get down with me. The fat one has a yellow hat. Some are thin and some are fat. There you go.
Can turn the pages that fast?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does. I got to play it sometime. It's funny. He does it on his radio show. He put some, like, instrumental hip-hop music to the background, and I was like, dude, this guy sounds like a legitimate Eminem-type rapper here. Dr. Seuss. Let's head over to the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line, shall we? Rick,
Certainly.
you want to do the duties
Why
today,
not?
Rick? Yeah.
This is Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. What are you doing today?
Oh, I just got done with the doctor's office.
Well, I'm afraid to ask what you were doing there.
Getting the diabetes checked.
Listen, Kyle, this is Wilford Brimley.
No, it's not, Rob.
If you got... this is Wilford Brimley. If you've got diabetes, you check your blood sugar, and you check it often. And there ain't no reason you shouldn't. And then, Kyle, you call Liberty Medical.
And you know what Yul Gibbons said? Many parts of the pine tree are edible.
I don't even know what that means.
It's a very old commercial.
Kyle, where are you at today, man? What town are you going through today, man?
I'm in the Woodlands.
Oh, ooh, Woodlands.
So Kyle,
So far.
So Kyle, what are you going to do with all these tickets? Because you already have a table.
Yeah, you won the ticket today.
I did?
Yeah.
Well.
And also
stack
my
it on
personal
tomorrow's.
friendship.
You want me to double up tomorrow? I can do that. Can we do that, Kay? Are you okay with that? We'll double up tomorrow. We'll give 2 tickets away, so that way a couple can go.
There you go. Make it nice. Someone come out and they have a +1.
Did you ever listen to Roy D. Mercer pranks back in the day, Kyle? Roy D. Mercer out of Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah.
Well, every time I hear the word couple of them, I think of the Bad Apples one. Well, I baked a couple of them. Gave me some sort of a gut ache. Sharon Jean's coming down there. I'll tell you what, she's coming down there today. I'm getting my money from you, Kyle.
Yeah, well, you just come on with it.
Yeah, well, when you told me it was Kyle, he probably would recognize my voice, so I didn't try to do anything.
Yeah. I didn't have the number programmed, but I knew it was you.
Well, Kyle, it's very generous of you to give your ticket to tomorrow's, and I'm so glad that we're going to see a table full of you and your coworkers.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Boss Man's coming in from Oklahoma.
That's Roy.
Roy.
Phil and Brent and Roy D. Mercer are coming.
I mean, he's got some of the same phrases that you just look at him and it's like, what did you just say?
Yeah, we won't repeat those phrases here on the show, but, I got you.
Yeah, family show.
That's right, family show.
All right, man. Well, listen. I need some new sheepskin seat covers because those Bad Apples ruined mine. And when you come out of here, Kyle, can you bring some matches and some of that, some sort of scented ointment? And then also, if you don't mind, open these trailer windows.
Smell good.
It's so hot in here, man. Open these trailer windows. I need some ventilation.
Bring some smell good in the box fan.
That's right, man. We'll have to play some Roy D. Mercer on this show sometime. Kyle, thank you so much, man. Kay, Kay always has the closing messages for our wonderful guest here on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line.
What are you thankful for, Kyle?
I'm thankful for the rain as long as it's not too much. You there?
Yeah.
Hello.
We were soaking it in because it's rain.
No pun intended.
Soaking it in? Yeah.
Well, Kyle, can you sing a song for us? Just 2 verses. Can you please sing, I'm thankful for sunshine, I'm thankful for rain? That's all you got to do, and then we'll let you go.
I'm thankful for sunshine, I'm thankful for rain.
That's the way to sing it, brother. Congratulations.
I don't know the song.
There you go. All right, Kyle. Well, hey, God bless you, man. Thanks for texting in to win on our Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line, buddy.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great afternoon.
You too, Kyle.
All right. God bless you, man. There he is.
So, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am. What do you got?
Kyle just gave me an idea.
All right.
Free of charge.
I got 2 tickets. 2 more tickets. Why don't you call somebody else and give away 2 tickets?
Right now? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's do it.
And then we'll have 2 tickets for tomorrow.
Well, let's do it. We're just going to head right over to the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line right now down here.
Didn't know if that would break any rules or not, but if you
it
could
here.
call 2 people or not.
Yeah, we can. We can do whatever we want. It's our show. It's your show. Rick, take it away. We're going to give 2 away. Please answer.
Hello.
Hello, this is the National Weather Service. Have you checked your weather?
Yes, sir. It's running.
It's what?
It's running.
Weather is running.
I thought you were asking about my refrigerator.
Is your refrigerator running?
The beer's still cold, so I guess it's doing all right.
I already know who it is whenever he starts talking like that. It's none other than Billy Cawthon, Sam Houston Memorial. Did they have a table for Kaye?
Yes, they have a table too.
Yeah, I'm sitting here holding my tickets now.
But are you fondling them?
Well, man, why did you text to win?
Tell him what I'm doing.
Hey, Billy, let me ask you this question. Do you have 2 people that you know of that you could give the tickets to?
Well, I do, but they are significant to one of the 8 tickets I'm holding.
Okay. Is there any customers that you have? Probably not.
Let's think about
I guess you could put a Dr. Pepper can on the tombstone and a couple of tickets, call it a day.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the pocket.
That didn't work.
I do have some families coming in today, so if y'all would like for me to assist in helping you with those other 2 tickets, I would gladly do it.
We would love to bless your family with two more tickets.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's duet. So let's duet. We'll sing together, Billy. Let's duet.
Bad.
All right, man. Billy Cawthon, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. They are the hometown experts in celebrating life. Also, the experts in helping with Lasso Your Imagination. Thanks for the table, by the way, to you and Greg. And, hey, man, looking forward to you on Friday, Dumpling.
Yeah, buddy.
All right,
want
brother.
to be a dumpling.
Yeah. All right, Billy. Have a blessed day, man.
Thanks, Billy.
Rick.
All right, there he is. Cool. So see that he'll be able to bless a family there, coming in and families, obviously when they go in over there, unless they're doing pre-planning, I mean, they're going through some pretty rough time over at the funeral home, and Billy and the staff are so compassionate. And, we'll get those 2 to him, and that'll be great for some families today.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier during one of the breaks that we need to go over there and make our plans.
Yeah, do need to do that. Pre-planning is so important.
I'm still not sure that they're going to put a crank at the end of the
I
coffin.
wanted to put a crank on the end of my coffin in case Pop Goes the Weasel.
Yeah, that would not be good. So
Why not?
It just wouldn't. I could. You know what? One of the Thunderbird. Y'all should do like the Cadillac Ranch out there in Amarillo. Have you ever been through Cadillac Ranch?
I grew up in Amarillo.
There was a lady though that actually buried herself in a Cadillac, and I wonder how many people try to dig that up after they buried it.
When you're rich enough, you'd be eccentric, but I'm not rich enough. I'm just crazy.
Yeah, I just when I go, man. I know where I'm going when I go, and I just told somebody one day. I said, I don't know if I want to be in a box. Just what I'd love one day, 100 years from now. I always be 100 years. Man, that's gonna be 123 years old. I'm gonna be an old dude. I think I'd like to go to 99. 123 would be kind of rough. Maybe 100.
Did you see where the lady jumped out of an airplane that was 104 years old?
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's like George. Was it H-Dub back in the day? Used to
She did it when she was 100, and some other lady did it at 103. She did it at 104. She was going to turn 105 in November, and she died 3 days after she jumped out of the plane.
Wow. Well, hopefully that plane company got sued for that because that probably inflicted some of it. I'm just kidding.
She landed, they brought her a walker, and she took off with her walker.
You know what I'm envisioning right now, Kay? I'm envisioning the walker, her holding it as she's going down. And then it just slides on in and just, ready to go. Hey, well, God bless you, Huntsville. Been a fun day today here with Rick and Kay. We will be on, of course, the rest of this week. A lot of great friends joining us, chiming in today, and we got to get rolling here. Busy day ahead, I know, for you, Kay, and us as well. We'll be back at it tomorrow here on the show as we continue to celebrate all things good happening here in Huntsville, Texas. It's your show, so make sure you join us tomorrow back at it bright and early, 7 a.m. I will get rid of this thing. Paul Oley's joining us this morning. Paul, you gave me this fidget spinner, and I've been fidgeting the whole show with it. So it works. It works for me. Friends, have a blessed day. Remember, don't wait around. Get round to it when you can. And we'll continue to celebrate all of the good things. Did want to mention real quick, real briefly, yesterday, awesome dedication, grand opening of the new MLK Community Center there on the east side of town. That building and facility has meant so much to so many people for several generations. And we just love folks all over town, especially our friends there and in that area, in that community, and got to interact. Met a guy named Anderson, gave him a hug, didn't know him, gave him a hug. And that's what Huntsville is all about. And so big thank you to the city workers, to folks over in Parks and Rec, and for making that.
You forgot to show what Jamie did.
Oh, I did. You know what, Jamie? I'm going to save it for tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to save it for tomorrow. There is something that Jamie Saucier of Saucier Woodworks made for us. And I'm going to save that for tomorrow because
It was beautiful.
I'm gonna hang it up so that way it'll show on the show tomorrow. If that,
Oh, Jamie said he'd hang it up. I would take him up on that. I wouldn't want to put anything in a brick wall.
well, I've got it. So it'll be all good. But something great tomorrow you're going to see on the show, and it's Saucier Woodworks bringing that to you. That'll wrap it up. Do we leave out anything, Kay?
Nope, I don't think so.
Huntsville, get on down there.
Have a blessed day, and I thank everybody for the support. I mean, I've been overwhelmed with the number of people that have been helping us.
Yeah, thank you all. Lasso your imagination. We'll continue to talk about it throughout this week, and we'll see you on Saturday. But for now, we'll step aside. We'll call it a day, and we will be back at it tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. I do want to remind you, too, if you've got a youth that's K through 12, come on out to Wednesday Night Life at First Baptist. A lot of events. There's food, entertainment, games, a lot of fun happening every Wednesday night. And that starts at 4:30 tonight. I may go there and just get a free meal. I'm like, man, this is great. I need to eat. And so come on out tonight. Until then, though, we'll wrap it up, friends. We love you. We thank you, Huntsville, for all that you do. And as I end every single broadcast, I want to remind you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truly need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Till next time, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you later.